Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be talking about concealers. I've been getting a lot of questions on, what kind of concealer should I wear, or what's better, NC and W if you're using matte concealers. So I brought all of my concealers out just so that I can show you guys what concealers I use and which ones are my favorite. I have my MAC ProLongwear concealer, and the color I use is NW25. So that's just the MAC concealer. And then I also have MAC Studio Sculpt concealer in this little pot, also an NW25. And as you can see, I use a lot of it. And then my last MAC concealer that I have is Select Cover Up, but it's in a little sample jar, an NW25 also. And then the other concealers that I have that are not MAC, I have two Bobbi Brown concealers, and they're the Bobbi Brown Creamy Concealer Kit. And basically what it just means is that it has a concealer on the top with a little mirror, and it has yellow powder at the bottom. Well, you can see I didn't open this one yet, but I opened this one. But it just has yellow powder to set your concealer after you put your concealer on. And the two colors I have are Warm Beige and Beige. And they also come with little powder puff that I didn't bring, but it does come with a little tiny powder puff. My next concealer that I have, and I've had this for a while, and I usually put this, I leave this in my my makeup kit, like when I'm, traveling and I'm freelancing. I leave this in my makeup kit, but one of them is already out, as you will see right now. But it's my Makeup Forever concealer kit, and it just has 5 colors. This one was my color. This was the first concealers that I had ever tried, so I used up all of this one, but you get 5 colors, and Makeup Forever has more than this color. They have like another palette, I believe it comes with like a green and then one with a purple. So if you are a makeup artist, I'd recommend these palettes. Either these, or I think you can get concealer palettes on coastalscents.com. But yeah, these are the other concealers that I keep in my kit. And then the last concealer that I have is my Eve Pearl Salmon Concealer, and I have Trio A. My lid broke, so I have to be careful with this one, but these are the colors. It comes with like a dark, a medium skin tone, and then a light. And I've tried all of them on myself, and they all do different things. So, if you want a concealer that you can do a lot of things with, then, I'd recommend this one. So those are all of the concealers that I have and that I have tried. So I always get questions about, what color concealer should I use if I'm using MAC foundation or any other foundation, but I want a MAC concealer. So with MAC concealers, you have NWs and NCs. And a lot of people get confused on, what NW and NC is. Basically, NW is going to cancel out any redness or purple tones you have going on underneath your eyes. And then NC, it'll do the same thing, but it'll brighten a lot more than the NW will. So I'm an NC, 35 in my ProLongwear foundation. And then in my ProLongwear concealer, I'm NW25. And that one, it covers the redness I have. I don't have bags, I just have redness and some kind of like purple tones. But I don't have like bags to cover or anything. And the NW25 works good for me. It brightens like a tad bit. I don't usually, on a daily basis, I don't want to brighten too much. I just want to cover, and it does lighten just a little bit, but not too much. But if you're the type of girl who likes a lot of brightness under your eyes, You could either go 1 to 2 shades lighter in NW, or if you want a lot of brightness, you can choose an NC. So if I wanted a lot of brightness underneath my eyes, I would choose like an NC 25 or an NC 30, and that would give me a lot of brightness. But I don't know if you guys can see, just underneath my eyes, I didn't put too much, but it just covers my redness that I have. So the way to choose a concealer is by the formula. ProLongwear is like a 15-hour wear daily, and it's light coverage, and it stays in place. It's not too moisturizing, but it's not drying at the same time. And then you have your Select Cover Up. That Select Cover Up is a little on the creamier side. Let me feel it. Yeah, Select Cover Up is like between the ProLongwear and the Studio Sculpt. And then the Studio Sculpt is very, very creamy. And I use this because that was all I had left after I finished my Makeup Forever. So I used this a lot when I ran out of my concealer. And I liked it, but it was too moisturizing for me because I have oily skin anyway. Well, I have like combination skin because I get really dry over here, and then cheeks and like my forehead, it's weird. I get dry in weird places and oily, you know, on my nose and like on the top of my cheeks. I don't know. So my Studio Sculpt was a little too moisturizing for me, and it creased on me. But I still, in every single formula, I was an NW25. And like I said, in Studio Fix Fluid, I'm like NC35, NC37. And then in ProLongwear, I'm an NC35. Okay, so in my Bobbi Brown, you have to go in and look at which ones match you, because these were sent to me for a video that I did for 17 magazine, and I was sent the colors warm beige and beige because I didn't know which ones would work for me. So they both work for me. Warm beige has a little more yellow tones to it, and then beige looks like it has more of like the warmer tones. So warm beige is more yellow, and beige is more like an NW25 in my MAC concealers. The good thing about the Eve Pearl and the Makeup Forever little concealers that I have is that the Eve Pearl one comes with 3 colors, and then the Makeup Forever one comes with 5 colors. So you can always find one that's going to work best for you, you know, by trying all of these out. You know, sometimes if I want a lighter, brighter under eye highlight, I'll go for a lighter one. So you can't really ever go wrong unless you're picking a shade that's too ashy for underneath your eyes or something. So you always want to try a concealer before you buy it. Except with these, they come in like little plastic wraps, so you kind of have to eyeball it, but the good thing is you're getting more than one color. With MAC and Bobbi Brown, you could always try those before you purchase them. So another thing you want to know about concealers is that if you have a lot of lines underneath your eyes, sometimes concealers can bring out those lines more, and for some people, concealer is just forget about concealer, because your best bet is to get like an eye cream and maybe like a tinted moisturizer that's not gonna set and be cakey under there, because that'll enhance the lines more. So for me, I have like this one little line. You see when I go like that little line right there? Concealer tends to settle in that spot for me. And so I put my concealer on, and then I set it with powder, and then 5 minutes later, I'll have that little line there. So I'll have to like dab it, and it'll go away, but just the fact that I have to like go the extra step to make sure that I don't have that little line right there, that gets kind of annoying. But if you have a lot of lines underneath your eyes, you want to be careful with concealer. So usually when I have more mature ladies coming to me asking me for concealers, I'll recommend an eye cream Or at MAC we have like a line filler, and so I'll recommend like a line filler for underneath the eye area, and that'll get rid of the, you know, the lines that you have. If not, I would recommend like a loose powder, just so that you can get a little bit of coverage right there, but it's not like too creamy or cakey where it's going to settle into the lines. Another trick that I learned with concealer is that after you put it on, when you're putting your powder on, instead of swiping this way, swipe from the outer corner in and like flick it in that way. That way the powder sits on top and you're not swiping it into the lines already. I don't know if that makes sense, but I just learned that, and I did it today with my ProLongwear and it worked really good. I didn't get any little creases right there. I was like, well, it works. So that's another thing with concealer. What else can I say? Oh, so another thing about concealers is that you can have a concealer for your under eye area, and then you could have a concealer for the rest of your face. Sometimes your under eye circles or bags or whatever, they don't match whatever blemishes you have on your face that you want to cover. So for myself, NW25 works good underneath my eyes, but it doesn't work good on my skin. It works okay if I like mix it into my foundation and, you know, I put it on, but to cover my blemishes, I don't like to put my NW25 on top of my foundation, because then you could see it and it looks white and it just doesn't look good. So you definitely need a different concealer that you use on your eyes, and then you need a different concealer that you can use on your face. And the type of concealers that I would recommend for your face are ones that are more moisturizing, so they don't settle into any lines or dryness that you have from like a blemish or something. So I would recommend like a Studio Sculpt type concealer that's really creamy and it's not too drying, because drying will make the blemish come out more. One more thing I forgot to mention is when you're choosing a concealer, you want to go 1 to 2 shades lighter than your complexion. And you'll figure that out as you try concealers on top of your foundation. And that's another thing. I put my concealer on after I put my foundation on. Some people like to put their concealer before foundation, but I just feel like I get more of a flawless complexion when I put my foundation on first and then my concealer on top right under here. And I don't use any like specific brush. I use a brush to brush it on, but then I always dab it with my finger. I feel like that gives me, you know, more control, and I can put it in certain spots, and brushes can leave like brush strokes. So I like to use my ring finger with that. So and then I just set it with a powder, and I'll make a video showing you guys how I put on my foundation now. But if you have any other questions about concealers, just write them down below. I hope I answered all of the questions about NW and NC, and that you should always set your concealer with powder after you put it on. And I hope this was really helpful to some of you that have been asking me questions about concealers and what I should use and stuff. And if you're wondering what I have on my eyes, I have Ricepaper and then Melon pigment in the inner corner. Paint Elite Paint Pot was all over, so I don't have a highlight. It's just Paint Elite Paint Pot. And then I'm wearing Bobbi Brown's Longwear Gel Eyeliner in black ink. And I'm wearing MAC No. 7 eyelashes. And my lips, I'm wearing Cream Cup Cream Sheen lipstick by MAC, and then She's a Star lip gloss. Yeah. So thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to check my Twitter for updates and my blog for other updates also. And I'll talk to you guys all later. Bye.